Hello, my name is Ben Smith. I'm a Bachelor's of Music Education from Texas Christian University, and I'm currently the head choir director at Montague Middle School in Fort Worth ISD.
Hi, my name is Tim Lewis. I'm a band director at Haltom High School. Just graduated with my TCU degree in music education, and this is what I do.
We had pushed back our school year about a month for the sake of COVID-19. We decided as a district that perhaps limitations could be limited, something could change before things got too serious. And when that didn't happen, we spent about 7 weeks of purely virtual instruction. When we started virtual instruction, that meant Google Classroom, that meant Google Meets, that meant nothing was able to happen in person. And this is all while teaching high school kids music.
The biggest struggle that we've had so far is getting kids to just show up to class, because if you don't have the external force of having to show up to school, there's no internal motivation to do anything. And that translates to apathy. And then kids don't go to school, they don't learn, and they end up failing or dropping out.
Being a choir master, being somebody who's in charge of choir, the entire point is to inspire groups, inspire people to work together. And inherently having people as 2-inch cells on a Google Meet, that just doesn't work.
So we ended up working about 10 or 11, 12 hours a day maybe, answering questions, helping kids through lessons, because the schedule is now flexible. And we have to be available to speak to the kids at any time, at any moment. And same with parents, they'll email us at any time of the day, and it's our responsibility to answer. And it's our responsibility to the kids and to society as a whole.
Over the course of that summer, there was the genuine thought that I would never become an educator. That was a very serious consideration, was the fact that I would never be able to do what I do. Especially being a teacher of singing, I teach people to use their mouths and use the breath in their lungs. And that is the worst thing that you can do with COVID-19.
I can tell you the teacher burnout rate right now is so astronomically high. We had 20 teachers, classrooms empty one day. I remember that. And so I had to go in and I filled in for random teachers' classrooms because we just didn't have the staff to support having that many kids at school.
So those kids who have come in person have made leaps and bounds, but I also have the very unique challenge of reaching 2 other populations of students. So now as I'm trying to address the day-to-day problems of classroom behavior management, don't touch each other, don't kiss each other, don't make faces, put your hands down, put your mask on, put your mask on, put your mask on. It comes back to the fact that nobody's getting an equal education. Nobody's getting the opportunity. The kids virtual are not getting the chance because I can't deal with them as I'm dealing with kids in person. The kids in person are distracted as I'm dealing with virtual kids, and the kids who are asynchronous don't even have the opportunity to succeed in the first place.
We want to see as many kids succeed, but attendance has been going way down. We have about 60% of the kids in our roster show up every day, and then about 40% is an unexcused absence.
I've seen about a 10 to 15% increase per class across the board. I teach 6 class periods a day, and from those my numbers have risen from 4 and 5 students at a time up to 6 and 7. My biggest leap, I've had an ensemble that left from 7 students to now they're up to 11. So there's definite improvement as COVID limitations, as people are becoming more comfortable, as a lot of adults are being vaccinated. People are feeling more comfortable sending their kids to school, and unanimously teachers agree that sending kids to school is the best thing to do for them.
I'm trying to look at it in a positive way because it's so easy to just be negative about everything. I have become increasingly flexible. Anything that happens, I can roll with now. I can bend over backwards for anybody because that's what I've had to do for the past year and a half.
The hardest thing to come to terms with right now is the lack of success, is the lack of reward. And inherently that's very selfish. I can't help the fact that I want these kids to succeed. I can't help the fact that I want them to perform for their parents, that I want them to be in the community, that I want to give them the opportunity to do these things. But with the restrictions placed on us by the government, placed on us by our school district, placed on us by all people involved, we can't.
Everybody's having this problem. It is a world pandemic. It will be okay. We'll be able to pull through. I think the undue amount of stress and pressure on teachers and, every kid that goes to school has been incredible. The mental health of most of my students has deteriorated greatly because of the stress and pressure of still needing to perform under exceptionally limited resources and extended hours and not having the motivation. They're still expected to perform at the rate they were performing at.
If I could go back and change anything, it would be to wait. That's truly the only answer. There was no point in starting when we started. There was no point in having another semester with no repercussions. There's not a point in force passing another semester's worth of students. If we had made a decision to just wait, to just hold off, to just quarantine, it would have never happened.